Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul here. I'm from Brazil and I'm happy to say that there is one match that I didn't watch during the World Cup. And it was Brazil versus Germany, the humiliation 7-1. Oh man, I have watched all the World Cups that I can remember since I've been alive. And recently I have been watching every single match, like with 2 or 3 screens, like really trying to watch every single match from the World Cup, even the ones that are going on simultaneously. So I'd have 2 screens, or either my phone and laptop or TV, and I would watch every single match. But something happened in the 2014 World Cup, which I did not watch any football match, and it had to do with detox and fasting and not watching content, just cleansing myself from media and stuff like that, which was a good thing. And this match, I remember listening to the fireworks and people celebrating the goals, well, not celebrating, but making noise during the goals. And I had no idea what was going on until I saw the news afterwards. So it was one of the best things of my life because I didn't watch it. So I don't feel like I was humiliated. As a Brazilian, I do know the impact of that humiliation. And I think it was well deserved after Brazil won, the 2002 World Cup on top of Germany 3-2, right? So it was a good comeback from the Germans. And but hey, you guys also I don't want to offend any Germans watching me. We're gonna react to the video, but I'm sorry for Germany, not qualifying and stuff like that, in the past few World Cups. But anyways, yeah, let's go straight to the video. This is from a channel called Tifo Football. Tifo Football. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. But guys, one of the best things I've done is not watch that what you call it, that match, because I would have been so heartbroken. But anyways, to request a video, link is over here or in the description or the pinned comment.
The 2014 World Cup produced a semi-final that nobody...
And by the way, guys, before I get any hate, ich liebe Deutschland, okay? I studied in German schools, and, this is back when I was in high school. If you guys ever been to Namibia, Delta High School, represent, I've been there. I was in the class of 2002. Yeah. You know what that means, right? After Brazil won against Germany, I went to school with my Brazilian cap on. I almost got killed, because all my classmates were German. But anyways, all fun and games.
The 2014 World Cup produced a semi-final that nobody will ever forget.
Nobody.
It was chaotic and yet also ruthless. And it began with 30 minutes that were so humiliating it amounted to a national tragedy and left a sporting wound which might never fully heal.
Bro, the fact that this was happening in Brazil, I mean, Brazil hosted the World Cup after so many years, and they were in their home territory. This was the World Cup that everybody was campaigning. If you guys aren't from Brazil, I don't suppose, but in Brazil, we had commercials of little children saying, "Hi, I'm 8 years old, and I've never seen Brazil win. Maybe this time I will." That was the feeling that everybody thought, this is the moment we're going to get our 6th World Cup. This is the moment that children that are, 10 years old, or I don't know how many years old, would be able to see Brazil win the World Cup for the very first time. This was the national World Cup in our territory, in our home. And we got viciously humiliated, and oh man, it still hurts But even though I didn't watch it, I'm happy that I didn't watch it. It still hurts.
This is the story of Brazil 1, Germany 7.
Yeah. Or most famously known in Brazil, 7-1. And everything now that you feel humiliated by, we call it a 7-1. So it became kind of like a name that we call things that are failures. So our biggest failure we would call, oh yeah, this was a 7-1.
When host nation Brazil progressed to the semi-final of their own tournament, they could afford to feel quietly confident. In the first knockout stage, they'd survived a stern examination by Chile to win on penalties, and then against Colombia in an enormously physical encounter, a fabulous David Luiz free kick saw them prevail 2-1 over what, to that point, had been one of the teams of the tournament. That game cost them Neymar, who would miss the semi-final with a back injury.
A back injury, but at the same time, one day before, or actually one day after the injury, he was seen in a nightclub. He was seen jogging with like a backpack on. So, bro, conspiracy theory mode on. I don't think he knew what was going to happen. I don't think it was a real injury. He was afraid of Germany.
But with every round, momentum had been building. And the emotional a cappella rendition of the Brazil national anthem ahead of their games depicted a country surfing a wave of optimism towards
Nice, I remember that.
And why shouldn't they have been confident?
That a cappella, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, the a cappella was when they sang the national anthem and Brazil continued the national anthem even after it had finished. This was something that we had never seen before, and it was emotional because the whole stadium kept singing even though the anthem had finished. It was beautiful.
And why shouldn't they have been confident? Brazil had not lost a World Cup semi-final in 76 years.
Wow.
And had not been beaten in a competitive match at home in 39. Enter the Germans.
Nice.
Since qualifying from their group, they'd needed extra time to beat Algeria and had scored a single goal to squeeze past France. Nobody could have foreseen what followed.
Nobody. If somebody bet on this and won, that guy is rich, because nobody would have ever bet 7-1 to
Brazil
Germany.
actually started off quite well, with Marcelo enjoying the first real chance of the game. But after 11 minutes, everything changed. Thomas Müller was left hopelessly free from a corner, and he volleyed past Julio César. It was the beginning of the most extraordinary 18 minutes in international footballing history.
This probably killed Julio César's career, honestly.
On 23 minutes, it was 2-0. Miroslav Klose tucked away a rebound to become the highest goal scorer in World Cup history.
Wow.
And almost from the kickoff, it was 3. When Toni Kroos beat César at his near post and then celebrated by holding his hands to his face in disbelief.
What happened? What really happened? I want to know. Brazil, they didn't fight.
The fourth Germany goal followed 2 minutes later, when Fernandinho was uncharacteristically robbed of possession just in front of his own box, and Kroos again tapped home after a 1-2 with Sami Khedira.
That's crazy.
And at 28 minutes, it was 5. Khedira turned scorer after Mesut Ozil had tied the Brazilian defence into a knot. Now, tactically, it was an extraordinary collapse. The Brazilian midfield was non-existent.
Wow, I've just remembered. This is Filipão, Big Phil. Bro, it's crazy because this Brazil had every chance of winning. They were in their home. They had a good team, and they had Filipão.
The midfield was non-existent. Their defence, which was admittedly without captain and linchpin Thiago Silva, seemed confused and desperate, and was constantly chasing back into position. Emotionally too, the Brazilian players seemed incapable of processing the crisis that was developing around them. And that wasn't just on the pitch. As the television cameras cut to the stands, the reactions of the home fans, with their replica shirts and painted faces, grew more extreme with each goal conceded.
That's crazy.
It was an extraordinary spectacle to witness. As the Athletic's Daniel Taylor, who was in Belo Horizonte reporting for The Guardian, recalled, There was a point after 0-0 had raced to 0-5 in the space of 18 minutes when the goals were coming too quickly to take accurate notes. There were people screaming, literally screaming, beside the press box.
Wow.
The first line of Taylor's match report described the game as the night Germany removed the crown from football royalty. It might even have been more humbling. Remembering his team's dressing room at half-time with a 5-0 lead and a place in the final secure...
Oh, this is the German coach who kept touching his stuff and sniffing and eating his booger, isn't it? Oh, I remember that.
Head coach Jogi Löw recalls urging restraint. I didn't want anyone to make a fool of the Brazilians in front of an audience of millions.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for only scoring 7.
The Brazilians showed to us across the country was enormous. And for me, it was completely unthinkable that we should humiliate them or to show arrogance towards them. The second half passed in a blur.
See, that's the thing. I'm happy that there was a halftime, because if there were no halftime, this would be more than 7, because they scored 5 in the first half. So if they had continued for another 45 minutes without that halftime, it could have been 10.
Germany would score another 2 goals, almost apologetically, and Oscar would also pull one back.
So that's what he's talking about. He's saying that during the halftime, he said, guys, slow down. I don't want to humiliate them. It could have been more. It could have been more then.
Most apologetically, and Oscar would also pull one back. But the damage had been done long before. At full time, several of the Brazilian players were inconsolable. More than one of them was in tears, as the Estadio Mineiro hummed with boos and the whole world shook its head with disbelief.
I feel like that also, it also ruined his career, David Luiz.
Boos, and the whole world shook its head with disbelief. I was watching at home with my wife, and after the third goal went in, she started to cry, said Tite, who led Brazil in the 2022 World Cup.
Chito.
That started me off. The 7-1 is like a ghost.
His name is Chichi. He's saying Tite. I'm trying to figure out what. Oh, Chichi.
It's present. People still talk about it. But the more you talk about it, the less likely it is that the ghost disappears. If you liked today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you did like it, you might be interested in how to watch football.
Okay, go check out Tifo and his book and his channel. Tifo did a fantastic job with this. The narration, the images, everything, the animation. This is something that no Brazilian will ever forget. I'm just one of the lucky ones who didn't watch it, But hey, we did go to the semifinals, right? But then again, we lost to the Netherlands in the third place. So we didn't even get third place at our hometown, our home country. That's insane. This is just one of those history moments. Bro, I missed it. I was in Brazil. I'm not in Brazil anymore, but I was in Brazil, and I decided that, I decided that I wasn't going to watch the World Cup. I don't know. It's one of those things that, but it wasn't I wasn't the only one. It was a whole thing. And it was the best thing I did, if you think about it, and I missed it. So I'm happy. I'm not as hurt as other Brazilians, but it still comes back to haunt us every so often. But then again, after Germany won the next World Cup, they didn't even qualify to the knockout rounds. Germany, it's kind of like a curse, right? After you win the World Cup, after they won the World Cup, they didn't go far in the next one. And then I thought surely it couldn't happen again, right? But then they didn't go far in the last World Cup either. But hey, Germany is one of the strongest. I think you guys have 3, right? Germany World Cup wins. 4. You guys have 4. 2014 was the fourth. So I think our biggest threat now is Germany, Italy, and yeah, I think those are the two countries that have 4. So Brazil has 5. So our biggest rival now, if you think about it, is Germany. Our biggest, the biggest danger we have for losing our title, or, you know, at least tie with another country, is Germany and Italy. Because if Germany or Italy wins one more World Cup, it means that Brazil is not the most the country who won most World Cup anymore. It means we're tied. So from now on, Brazil needs to win one more World Cup, or Germany and Italy cannot win another. Although I don't mind Italy winning, because, you know, it's also part of my my bloodline. So I am also Italian, so that's fine for me. Either Italy or Brazil, I'm still, you know, supporting them. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what you thought of this video. Do you want me to do more football videos? I love it, you know, and as a Brazilian myself, we love football. And it's all fun and games, guys. Please don't be offended by history. It just so happens we have 5. Germany has 4, so not far back. And we were humiliated, you know, 7-1. So, hey, you guys have that on us. It was a good comeback after the 2002 World Cup. It was a good comeback. And I respect the heck out of Germany, man. You guys have great football players. Great. Beckenbauer, probably the biggest or the best ever, right? Let me know your favorite footballer, and let me know who the greatest, the GOAT, you think is in the comments. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more. The link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.